tuned in. Is that your Digidestined?
That's my Digivice noise.
Is he asking you to drop and do 20?
I don't think Doromon could even do push-ups. Bro is built like a T-Rex.
That doesn't mean he can't tell you to do them.
That's fair.
What's up, everybody? And with that, we're here starting the Black City Pod again, episode 8 of our fantastic voyage. Come along for all our great, fantastic news articles we got for you. I am one of the co-hosts. I'm gonna get this right one day. I'm one of the co-hosts, Steven, and of course we have David back again.
I'm here without the Goku sound.
He's changing it up.
I'm just kidding.
You know, I'm glad I told myself I don't have to edit anything in for the Goku noise, because I think I got to scrub the entire podcast just to find it.
I always got that thing on me.
Soundboard go crazy. I could use it too, but I'm poor, so I don't get any of those bonuses. But anyway, You're right. Let's not get too out of, let's at least start getting an idea what's going on with this show. So we have decided, going back, let's do our other episode, we decided, we're doing way too much Pokemon. We've been to be fair, other TCGs have been lacking, not a whole lot of news for us to do. Same with the video game, stuff like that. But we changed it up. We're doing something different this episode. For our previous listeners that were like, yeah, I'm really liking this Pokemon podcast, we got something for you. But, we're changing up a little bit today. So, on today's docket, we've got the newly released, fantastic, spiritual successor to the Jet Set Radio series with Rush Cyberfunk. Yeah, you know what? You can hear from the mic out back, but we got the crowd out there. We've been looking for this game for a long time, so we're going to talk a little bit about our experiences as we played it over the weekend. We've also got some news on Nintendo of America dropped some news today about Charles Martinet stepping down as a voice actor for Mario. What does it even mean? We're going to talk about that because we really don't know what that could entail.
What is a Mario ambassador? Let's find out.
Yeah, yep. And then to wrap things up, we're not going to stray too far away from trading cards too much. So we have a plethora of stories of people stealing Pokemon cards because it keeps happening every single month. So it would be unjust for us to not at least mention it briefly. Because it seems like every other day is a new news story about some crazy, or I guess some thief doing some crazy and wild thing for some Pokemon cards. So we're going to break that down for you guys, probably go over some previous stories and laugh at a bunch of losers. So hope you guys are all settled down and ready for this hour-long show of ours, and we'll get right to it with some vigilante graffiti business with Rush Cyberfunk.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I love this game.
I also love this game. I was going to say, ridiculous, but...
The whiff. Yeah, So for context, I've never played Jet Set Radio Future. I've only played Jet Set Radio.
Wait,
OG.
You've never played Future?
No.
Okay, I'm sitting here this entire time thinking that you and everybody else has been talking about this game has played Future, but it's all my friends, all of our friends. But it seems like I'm the only one who's actually played Jet Set Radio Future. So this is gonna be interesting.
I have played the original Jet Set Radio. Funny, I have played the Game Boy Advance one as well.
Okay, I didn't play that shit. I don't know.
And that's why when I was describing it to you before we started recording, it is what the soundtrack and visuals of Jet Set Radio 1 would lead you to believe. That's what Rush Cyberfunk is gameplay wise.
Yes.
Jet Set Radio 1 is so clunky, and it's
slow,
hard to master and hardly worth mastering. But Rush Cyberfunk is fun, highly movement based, and makes you feel free, which is one of the main central themes of these type of games, like freedom, rebelling against the typical standards and rules of society and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt those themes reflected in how I played the game.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, it is fantastic. And I think you hit all the right points. It is taking what was good about Jet Set Radio and making it a fully functional gameplay experience as well. I mean, yeah, Jet Set Radio, it was a great idea on paper, but in execution, it was very slow, very sluggish. The execution was kind of janky, and you weren't actually giving that too much of a game, to be honest. And I understand because at the time it was, I believe it was a release title for the Dreamcast, but I'm happy to announce that for the few of us, it seems like they got to play Jet Set Radio Future, you're getting more of that plus more in this game. Because like you said, you haven't played Future. This felt like Future right out the box. Everything felt super smooth. I think it was interesting that you don't start with skates, but just jumping right in, I was like, oh, this is almost the exact same. Like this feels like I've been playing this game for 2 years. Cause that's how long it's how long I've been playing Future. But coming into it, I was like, oh, this feels perfect. Like I know in an interview that the creator of this game was not trying to make Jet Set Radio 1-to-1, but anyone who's coming from Future is feeling right at home with this. Like this feels so good, so good. I don't even know like really to start, to be honest, because I know one thing that you and me kind of both talked about though is that this game has a lot more of a focus on story.
Yeah. So within the first like 5 to 10 minutes of you playing, you are just like dropped dead center into like, I'm not going to say this like crazy chaotic world, but you are shown a lot of scenes that you're not supposed to understand yet, but you're given like a little like crumb trail to kind of like piece things together within the first like 5 to 10 minutes. Like you're given like major characters' names, but not like their significance to the story. You see a lot of like interesting looking people. Are they human? Are they not? And this is all like while you're escaping a prison, you know?
Yeah.
So the amount of things going on might seem chaotic, but story-wise, they kind of like drip feed stuff to you until you reach major milestones in the story. And a lot of people were expecting you to have a customizable character, and to some degree you do, but the main character very much is a fully developed entity within the world of Rush Cyberfunk, which I think honestly has served the game well.
Yeah, I think, I guess not spoilers, the first 5 minutes. So like, in the first 5 minutes, like your main character gets decapitated, so you die. Your ass is dead, chopped in half, or your head's... Say no more. He's gone. He's low. Yeah. I swear. Turns out he was just low though, because in this world, like, and you're giving like small spoonfuls of information, but like the spoonfuls you get are like heavy dumps. Like in this world, you get decapitated, you can just get your head replaced with a mechanical head, and you won't be the same person, but you are in a way. Like you take on a different identity, but essentially like you can survive having your head decapitated in this world. That's just kind of a normal thing that you can do. There's people who have entire body parts replaced out. There's people who have just,
completely cybernetic.
Yeah, completely cybernetic. It's a extremely futuristic world that seems to just in the modern day. So it's all kind of covered in a shroud. You don't see it unless it's like during important cutscenes. So you play as a cyberhead who's trying to get their head back and find out just who you were. Just find your roots, essentially. It's kind of like, so far as far as we've played, it's been like kind of the main theme of the game. But it's kind of interesting what we're getting, like how we're getting these kind of piecemeal, like what's the police are up to, the conflicts between the characters that we see. It's surprisingly deep for a Jet Set game, and that's not saying much because most of these games have no story, and if they do, it's very much like Yeah, we seen a
Like,
couple lines. Start
yeah,
pop locking, and then we'll just figure it out.
my gang beat your gang. Win.
Yeah, this turf's mine. I got a
Yeah.
rocket.
Okay. But I think you bring up a lot of the things that I really liked about the story because I'm just so like the viewers know in case they've played it as well. I'm on chapter 4 now. Um and where I've gotten to so far with some of the sequences in the game, there are these sequences where you basically are in kind of like a dream state. That's kind of all I'll give away because the rest could be kind of spoiler territory. First off, those levels are awesome as hell. But secondly, story wise, it's so interesting how they challenge they challenge you to like determine what it means to like not only be alive, but what does humanity mean? Like, what does it mean to be a human? What does it mean to like be you? Like, are you who you are presently, or are you the culmination of those before you who have birthed you? Are you your roots? And there's just like these themes of like, what exactly are you? And it's just awesome to me because right now we're in like a very like crazy time, and this game came out when like AI is like a really popular talking point nowadays, and I think this game hits a lot of good questions to get people really thinking about what it means to be a human. Because our main character, who we'll call Red, um, he got his head decapitated, but his body remembers like some of the stuff that his head did, and he has a lot of his muscle memory in terms of how he sprays graffiti, and that's how people kind of like, hey, this is kind of familiar. Weren't you this guy? And I think that's really interesting that they are like challenging me in a game where I thought I would just be, as you put it so well, Steven, pop locking and hitting up other gang members. You know?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, I think I like how they're doing it because a lot of this game is like the story's taking place. I don't think it's trying to achieve and try to reach a message across, but by leaving those like those dream sequences and just the dialogue, what they're talking about, like in piecemeal during the story, it's like it's stuff to think about, but it just not trying to force it down your throat. You know, this is still a hyper hyper visual experience spray painting vigilante game.
Right. Yeah, you very much could ignore the story because they give you the option to just skip cutscenes outright.
Yeah, but I think that
You can
I
ignore the story.
oh
Yeah.
sorry but I think that idea, like the idea of like transhumanism and stuff like that, like those are themes that Jet Set Radio kind of puts in its visual design, and I think it's really cool that Bomb Rush is just kind of like trying to kind of push more in that direction because this is a very unique series. So when you have the opportunity to kind of move forward where a main company is not doing so, I think this is the perfect direction what they were probably thinking of in the original one, and then kind of got lost in the weeds as the series itself did.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep harping too much on the story just because the game came out so recently. I don't want to spoil anything, but um, just moving on to the other characters besides the main character, um, it's easy to like get invested in like even the police this time around. Like, typical in a game like this, they're like the obvious villain, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But you get these little snippets and cutscenes in between chapters of like what's going on their side of things, and you kind of like develop a relationship with these characters who at first you're just like kicking the crap out of them, but then you find out like what's going on their side of things and why they are using such strong militant force against a couple of people spray painting and like dancing next to railings.
yeah, exactly. Like it again, being kind of fed it bit by bit, but we're kind of seeing I guess the complexity of it. Like, and it seems that not everything's all it seems, even within the police force. So, I can't remember the guy, the main, the police chief in Jet Set Radio, but like that was really the only developed cop character in that game, and developed quote unquote. You're just an asshole. Um, So to see these other characters have a little bit more depth to them and get named at the very least, like I'm not going to focus too much on the story because we haven't played that much of it so far, but it seems like it's actually going somewhere. So I'm invested to see what these characters do. I'm even your squad currently, Thrice and Bell. I mean, they haven't done too much, but they seem to have more to. At least Bell seems to has some more to her character. Thrice, we haven't really seen too much about him yet, but you know, there's stuff there. There's stuff there.
Yeah, for sure. I did want to talk about the interview you brought up earlier. I don't know if you recall, the dev said this is the game where he wants you to play it and then go outside and do these type of things with your friends.
I,
And the interviewer, the interviewer was like, "So this is the game. You want this to be the game to end all games?" He's like, and the dev responded like, "No, this is the game where I want people to go outside and like spend time with their friends, pop locking or trying to do parkour or something." Because the developer actually he does inline skating.
Yep.
He's actually been doing dancing as a hobby since he was like 6 or something.
Yeah.
And he's done he's done urban dance for that long, which I thought was awesome. But he's basically this is like his love letter to his life almost, you know.
Because during that same interview, it was so cool to hear like kind of the history of urban dancing within, I believe it was Amsterdam, right? Because that's the game takes place in New Amsterdam. Yep. So Amsterdam's such an interesting place. So many different types of people live there, and to hear that this was his story there, I gotta go at some point because that sounds like there's some deep lore about like I want to see how that even kind of broke out within Amsterdam in the first place. That whole scene, to get a game this inspired and so, like he knew what he was doing, and he had the background, had the history. I remember he would interview, they would practice the dances, and he would interview some of his teachers and stuff to make sure that everything looked right. Like it was definitely a passion project from his own history with all the stuff, all the culture within this game. And going into this game and seeing as taking place in like why New Amsterdam? Like I know that's kind of like a crazy city, but what does that all mean? But like hearing it from him and how he kind of broke it down, it's something I want to kind of discover. And so maybe I will go outside. I'll go to his stomping grounds and see, do some graffiti there.
And it's funny you say that. I was gonna comment. He said, "What fun is graffiti if there's like no chance of getting caught?"
Okay, like I'm all for it, but like I remember like it's just kind of crazy to me to hear that because in Jet Set Radio, like remember the PSA or it's like, hey, graffiti is like a form of art, but like, hey, don't go do it on like whatever. And this guy's like, nah, forget all that. Just go do some graffiti anywhere you want.
Yeah. But it's awesome because even that like kind of like ludicrous ideal he has fit into the game where like it's all about like freedom and expression, and this is a really good segue into why I love the graffiti system for this game versus Jet Set Radio.
Let's talk about it.
Having more graffiti designs is unlockables. Yes, awesome. This game looks like a like early 2000s era game. Yes, let me collect things that I can then use immediately. That's awesome. But also, you just feel awesome doing it. If you remember your favorite graffiti combo and you do it really quick in the middle of like a trick combo, that's like all the endorphins you'll need for like a month, dude.
It's
so good.
Do you have a favorite so far?
Oh, the one that's I wish I had the name pulled up, but it's the one with the guy with the purple hat with like a bunch of hands and spray cans.
Oh, that one. Okay, yeah, that one.
That's my favorite art because it reminds me of the Jet Set Radio Future album cover.
Yeah, for sure. I love doing it. I don't hit that one. I hit that one so often, but I don't care. If I autopilot and hit it, I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'm leaving it. But my favorite so far is, I don't know if you have to collect it, but it's all purple and it's got like some it's like screamo text essentially, and then the I guess mascot in the middle of it. It's like a light purple with a white outline on it. Like maybe you haven't collected it yet, but that's my favorite one. I spray that all the time. I
Is it
think
the one with the cat on the top of it?
yeah, it's got the input's a crown essentially.
Yeah. Okay, I have that. I have
Okay,
that.
I love that one. I put that shit everywhere. So good. But all of them are great. Even if I mess up and get the wrong ones, like, you know what, I'm just having fun. I was literally grinding by it and just managed to press the button in time. Like, I just want to put something up there. And man, it's so much better than I don't want to say I'm not ragging on we're not ragging on the original, but the original is it's like a Sonic 1, right? You know.
Yeah, exactly.
It
Like this laid the foundation and groundwork for us to have this awesome bomb rush cyberpunk that we have today, right?
exactly. That being said, spraying graffiti in that game was slow, irresponsive, and then if you messed up, like you were more often than not mess up because the timing was so funky. And this game is just like take all the time you need, but you'll feel so much cooler if you do it fast. And that's it. That's all you need. You know, there's a mini game involved, but it's not one that's easy to fail. You just look cooler, and that's kind of like part of the whole game, right? Like you want to look cool, right? You know, I think the tagline is "No weak shit." Like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm being challenged to put up or shut up. So let me put some shit up, you know. Um, and it just feels good. I don't know where you want to go from there. You want to go into graffiti and combat, or go to the trick system? Because
Actually, so tricks will probably be longer. So I just want to touch quickly on combat and the differences between like Jet Set Radio and this.
yeah,
Um, so in Jet Set Radio, you kind of like can boost into like the police or whatever enemies, and that's your only means of fighting. Otherwise, you're just like evading capture. Um, in this game, you can't like you have dedicated like attacks where you can get off of whatever you're riding, so whether that be a bike, skateboard, skates, and you can just like straight up start kicking people and hitting them with breakdance moves.
yeah,
And you can also hit them with these same tricks and such on your vehicle as well.
yep,
But on foot, you have this awesome like launcher where if you hit someone and jump simultaneously, you knock them up in the air, and you kind of get this finisher move. It's this awesome graffiti move where you can use one of your smaller, medium-sized designs, and it like just blows away anyone who's in front of you, and it's as hype as it sounds. It's
yeah.
so awesome to just be able to do it. Like you can just destroy crowds of enemies if you do it properly, and it rewards you for mastering the movement system you've already been using the entire time you're playing.
Yeah, and it's surprisingly deep too. Like it's not going to be like God of War. If that's a deep game, I guess Devil May Cry. It's not going to be like a Devil May Cry or anything like that. But it is kind of interesting how many interesting directions you can take your combos. Like I just discovered today, if you do a boost trick where you press the boost button and do a trick in combat, you get a unique attack. You like do a break dance to do like a 5-hit combo, and then you can lead it into your launcher.
Yep.
Which also beats armored enemies. Like
yeah, because it's a boost attack, right?
yeah, exactly. So it is surprisingly deep. You can opt to not do the launcher, or if you do enough attacks, it'll just do a grounded launcher, which has a smaller window of time. But if you hit it, it's pretty much a one-hit KO. So they throw all these little things to make the game more interactive. You know, you're not just running away from the cops, where you can just straight up just go fight 8 cops and a turret. You know,
and military mecha.
Yeah, and a military mecha, and just run it with them. Just beat the mess out of them, and then just go back to your day. Okay, I forgot. There's one instance where, like for example, there's a piece of graffiti I had to hit that was too high for me to jump to, so I got some cops to come over to me, and I did the combo. Then I did the launcher, hit the small graffiti one, and then just hit the button again and got to the graffiti for the larger piece. And got me the rep to move on to the next stage.
I love it.
It's so good, dude. It's so much of if you're rewarded for being creative. You're rewarded for thinking outside the box. It's very much expression. You can express yourself in this game very much so, and I'm having a blast, man. I'm loving it. And that's just combat. We haven't even really talked about like just the game itself. I guess the other part of the game, I should say, with the trick system.
Yeah, so gameplay. Yeah, I guess this is a large part of the game is the trick system. So you're given a plethora of tricks. You have 3 buttons of 3 different tricks, and every vehicle, even walking, has their own set of tricks. And shout out to parkour being acknowledged in this game, by the way.
I know,
but it's really cool because you're given those 3 buttons for tricks, and then you have aerial tricks, you have grounded tricks, you have tricks you can do while boosting, and then tricks you can do while on grind rails, and
tricks while sliding.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's something. Tricks you can do while manualing or sliding, and so you have all these things you can do, and they all can combo into each other. And this game's, I guess, boss, quote unquote, boss combat or major conflict is settled through these trick battles, where you and your 2 friends go up against another crew of 3 people, and in a set period of time, you have to get as many points as possible by tricking. And I think the game is structured in such a good way because you're given all these side missions to basically learn the entire environment around you, to develop the longest string of tricks possible because you're aware of the entire place. And I just, it's my favorite part of the game. I can sit in one area and just learn the ins and outs of it, and it's just so good.
Yeah, I agree. I think even before we started recording, I did an hour of just playing the game, just kind of squeeze some gameplay time in. I just sat in the same area and try to see how long I can do a trick combo. Because there's challenge you can do within the areas to kind of test yourself, but the movement's so good. I was trying to hit 100 trick combo, and just going around the entire area and being completely freeform about it. It feels so good, and it's really just hitting. Well, I would say it's hitting 3 buttons, but if you're doing it well, you're playing with that entire controller. You're shifting the camera around, you're making sure you're hitting your slides, keep your combos going, you're jumping at the right time. You have to switch off of your skates or your skateboard or bike to your grounded move, gives you extra points for shifting in the middle of a trick.
Yep.
It's so good. Again, just feels amazing. I haven't used the bike that much though, and I guess we can kind of break down it doesn't really matter though, right? You have the skates, you have the skateboard, and the bike, and they all essentially operate the same. They just have different trick loadouts.
So someone told me every mode of transportation has some difference in how it affects gameplay, but I haven't seen or felt it, and maybe I'll know on later levels.
Well,
but
I know the skates you can slide have no equipment on, you're on foot, so there's that benefit. I know the bike obviously can't do that. I haven't seen a slide. I think they also have you can do a longer manual with the bike. So there's some things I've noticed, but essentially it doesn't feel too different.
Yeah, nothing feels foreign. At any point in time, you could switch to your preferred method of transportation, and you will be just fine.
Yeah, I know. Going into this game, I was I'm probably not going to use the bike because I like riding my bike. I have all those things personally, but I was performing on a bike might be kind of lame compared to the other tools. But no, it feels just as good. It doesn't look dumb either.
I love the bike in this game.
Yeah.
It's only second to the roller skates for me.
You can't beat the roller skates. I'm surprised that they didn't start by giving you the skates.
Yeah. And to
Because
be fair, you unlock it very soon, like so quickly.
yeah,
But I was also surprised the main character was on the skateboard.
it just seemed like it was almost like it's almost wrong. Like I'm like I like this. Yeah, I was like I like this, but this come on, man. Where's my skates? I gotta do it big, like just like we used to do it in Jet Set.
But I think now that you say that, I think that was intentional. To kind of like differentiate and step away from just like being in the shadow of Jet Set Radio.
Yeah,
Like
true.
Being an inspiration versus being a copy or a sequel.
True. Because how many people would just stay with the skates? If they didn't even if they were told, if they were just given the skates, like, hey, you can use the bike or the skateboard. I'm pretty sure a lot of people would just stuck with the skates if they started out with that. So that's a good point. That's a good point. I'm thinking everyone's just coming from Jet Set Radio, but
Apparently the game's doing great. I really do wish I got it on PC instead.
Why?
But before I get into why, I will say 60 FPS works on Switch, fantastic. I only had one instance of slowdown, and it was during a transition at the mall level, and it hasn't happened again since. But
that's impressive, to be honest.
I was like, I don't know what technology this dev's using, but not even first party games can do this.
They figured out if this console can only really handle like Dreamcast quality graphics, but
probably was just a mobile device.
Yeah, exactly.
But and this is more for the people who play on Switch. This doesn't affect a large amount of the player base because apparently most people are on PC. Switch and other consoles, because PlayStation's getting the game later this year. We're gonna get the DLC later than the PC players. And the DLC is 2 characters from Team Reptile, who's the developer of this game. They're characters from a different game of theirs called Lethal League. And it sucks because we don't have it, but also it doesn't affect gameplay because it's just character DLC. It's not like missing a chapter or a portion of the game. This is like back to the era where DLC was extra content for people who had beaten the game or want to just have a different experience. It does not affect story, gameplay, anything like that. It's just characters you might like if you support Team Reptile,
Yeah. All cosmetic stuff, but I think worthwhile when it comes out. I'm excited because the DLC is releasing a character to actually play in Lethal League. So I can't wait to get that. I'm fortunate that I did get the PC version. And I can say I have not had a single technical hiccup. It's not asking for that much, guys. It's not Crisis 3. Like it's you'll be just fine.
You can play it on a potato.
Yeah. Is Crisis 3 still the benchmark? I don't even know anymore. Yeah, I mean, I think you can't go wrong either way, right? Because the Switch is still, like you said, 60 FPS. Like you're having like the same experience.
I could not believe it. I was waiting for my Switch to crash.
Yeah.
I was like, thank you for autosave.
Shoot, but by the time you get the DLC, like you'll be ready to join the PC crew because I'm assuming mods are gonna drop for this at some point in time.
I'm going to get. Once mods are coming out like in like large waves, I am going to get the PC version just because they're gonna have custom paint, they're gonna have custom cell shaded characters.
Yep.
People are gonna make just like crazy awesome mods. I'm sure like there'll be other like DLC and stuff, and it'd be awesome. I'm praying for Latch to get in from Lethal League. Unlikely, but Latch on a bike. Let's go.
They're just gonna mod him, man. Come on. If he doesn't get an official release, he will exist. The entire Lethal League cast is going to be in this game.
Also, I can see it in the future. Imagine being able to put your own spray paint.
Man, yeah, that's real easy. That's just a JPEG.
Yeah, just think like, and I guess we kind of didn't talk about one of the things I really love about the graffiti system is you can go back over your graffiti and spray. And
if you were just mashing, you can fix the problem.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're like, I don't want to look at this, or like, oh, I want to redo this entire area, you can. And you can also use it to like get the police to come back to area for some reason you want to just fight people. But I am excited because I don't even have to like start a new save if I wanted to. When like new paints drop or like new songs drop or something like that, I can just keep going from my current save.
Yeah, it's everything we kind of been. I mean, we're not done, but obviously it's everything we kind of been looking forward to for this game. Just to be honest, like not even Jet Set. Like when we were first shown this game, we were super excited, and it has definitely delivered. And I know we've been kind of saving it. So, do we have anything else to say before we talk about probably the biggest thing? Anything at all?
Go right into it.
All right. So, obviously, we haven't talked about it, but the music. The music is, it's Wizard, man.
Just can't get it now. Dude, I was so mad when I found out Hideki Naganuma made that. I was like, yo, I'm gonna find a song now from this man that I like in the soundtrack. That man is undefeated.
He tops the chart out of all the artists. No offense to the artists, because all the music is fantastic. But I mean, it's Uncle Naganuma, man. Like you can't top that. You can't top that style for this style of game.
He killed it. I'm gonna give everyone their flowers though, because like Klaus, who did some of the music for Lethal League, also did some of the soundtrack, and he made like Latch's theme, and Lethal League is one of my favorite songs in that soundtrack. Yep. They have a lot of awesome artists, and I think it was really cool. The developer was like, when he was picking the music for the game, he was like, okay, firstly, I'm just gonna pick songs that I think bang. And then when I need more songs, I'm just gonna reach out to artists and say, "Hey, can this be in our game?" And that's how the soundtrack was made for this game, and you can tell, and it works.
That is hilarious. That is so good.
Oh man, I love this soundtrack.
I do too. I mean, I'm going to be playing some of the music throughout the cast, even past Cyberpunk section, because Cyberpunk, god damn it, Cyberfunk.
We've been tainted.
That game
by the not game.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be playing some Cyberpunk music throughout this entire podcast. It is so good, and even it's like, man, what's that background noise? Like, just listen to it. It's so good. I know, like, even songs I usually wouldn't like, because like one of the tracks I unlocked, I think it's called "Condensed Milk."
To uncondensed milk.
Yeah, I was like, I don't really like. I usually don't like the song, but there'll be sometimes I'm just like, I'm walking around, I go on my phone, like, just play it. Like, it's just that good. Just play the song. I'll just trick out to this. Oh, man.
Something that I thought was interesting, do you know 2 Mello?
Yeah, of course.
So I thought it was really interesting because he was just someone who made Jet Set inspired music, and he put it on his SoundCloud and like other music streaming platforms. Mm-hmm. And for him to be reached out for a game like this and have his music in the game, I thought was just awesome because I've been listening to him for like so many years.
Yep. Yeah, it's, man, like, I don't know how to put it into words. Like, you have these amazing artists coming together who have been inspired by the original material. Like, yes, of course you're going to support this game. Why not? And I think they know it's good. For instance, I haven't heard 2 Mello's track in this game yet. At least I don't think I have. I know I haven't unlocked it for sure.
Right.
But there's so many good songs. I'm just jamming the entire time. Like, I haven't heard Jack the Funk yet.
Dude, they're hiding it.
They're hiding. I have like that is the last track you will get at the end of the game, and they know that I'm going to find it.
It's probably like the end credit song or something. You gotta beat the whole game.
Don't be mad.
Naganuma songs.
It's almost like a badge of honor. Can you play this song in game?
Yeah, because we haven't really talked about the phone menu, but being able to like open your phone mid gameplay,
mid tricks,
I think it's so. Yeah, it's like mid trick. you can take a selfie of yourself in game while doing it, and the game is just about swagging.
It's such a good vibe, man. It's such a good vibe.
And you can change the song at any point in time, dude.
Yeah, exactly. No, I definitely been trying to get a selfie with a cop.
Hey, bro, you on my phone real quick?
Right. Hey, hold it. Hey, you see this dude right here? He's wearing my tags.
Is that a temp tag? No.
Oh, man. Yeah, it has been so much fun. My entire weekend, save for another game I'll probably talk about another time. But this game took the bulk of my weekend. For anyone who was wondering if I got any work done, that video I'm working on, no, it's because I'm playing Bomber Cyberfunk. And I'm loving it.
A lot of our time, but for our good. And it hasn't been unproductive.
No, it's been nice to, because I don't know, you guys, past listeners of the show, you guys know that like we've been talking about mostly Unite and stuff like that, a few other games here and there, but me personally, I have not been enjoying a video game like this in a very long time. I've been stuck in Unite hell, if you weren't aware. I know it's a crippling condition. But
seeking professional help.
Yeah, I'm doing my best. I'm getting better. But this game was such a just play a game, man. Just sit down and play a game. Just have fun. Do some combat stuff. Spray paint, and then just enjoy yourself. And it was such a breath of fresh air to just get in there and not be dealing with clunky controls or a crappy UI menu, or just to have a game that works perfectly fine and then actually gives me a good game experience. Bomber Cyberfunk, like, you cannot go wrong. Cannot go wrong with this game.
Yeah, and to your point, it's one of those games where you can play at your own pace. If you want, you can get really invested in it. Or this is a game you could even play in the background of like a Discord call or something.
Yeah.
Like you can be as chill or like with it as much as you want. And I think that's so awesome that they made a game like that nowadays, where games tend to be on like extreme sides of spectrums, where here's this huge narrative and this like 2-hour cutscene you need to watch to understand everything going on, or here is a 2D platformer that is like pixelated. Go play this.
And you want to feel unredeemed, or you want to schedule a 3-hour session to remember what's going on when you turn it off. This game was just like, hey, you gonna do that kickflip combo? I know that piece of graffiti that's on the way up there, you don't know how to get to it yet. Oh, those 5 guys you've been trying to give high fives to, you don't know how to the whole combo? Just hop in for 15 minutes, try to figure it out. Oh, you didn't? All right, who cares? At least you listen to good music. Thanks, Nakanuma. Thanks, Too Mellow.
And it feel bad.
Yeah, it just so good, man. So good. All right. Any other thoughts? I thought we couldn't do it, but we managed to make almost an hour out of this.
I can talk about this game forever. I haven't beaten it yet, and I will eventually want to talk about the story, but I do. This is a game where I tell people, you can ignore everything we just said. I think you should just try it.
Yeah. Just try it. What do you have to lose?
$40.
Yeah, it's not even like a full price game, but you're getting a full game experience. Because I don't even know how close I am to being done. I think you said you're on chapter 4. I'm on chapter 3, and I've just been not paying attention to the story at all.
You don't have to.
No, you don't.
That's the beauty of it, and we've just had such different experiences, even, which is like, I think that's a sign of a good game.
Yeah, I
agree.
When
we have different shared experiences.
Absolutely. So get it today. Team Reptile, thank you for this game. I don't need a sponsorship. I will pay you for another copy. I'm getting David the PC version. I'll do it right now. It is so good. It's so good. It's Bomber Cyberfunk on Steam and Switch, and everybody else will get it later eventually. So don't worry.
It is. They tweeted out sometime earlier today that you can wishlist it on PlayStation as of today.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well. Where do we move on from there? Oh, I guess okay. Never mind. I got the docket right here. Don't worry about that.
Well, you know, instead of Pokemon, we moved to another Nintendo franchise.
We're talking about games this episode, but you know how we're gonna go out in real life after playing Bomb Rush. Now we're getting some real life stuff because you know Mario, he's got a great voice, but Mario, I hate to tell you, but Mario doesn't do his own voices. There's actually an actor behind the Yahoos and Wahoos, the
My brain has
Yeehaws.
been blasted. I thought Mario voiced Mario.
Well, you just got up smashed by Mario.
Oh. Cue the yeehaw!
Yeah. So this is actually big news, and this dropped pretty recently, right?
Yeah, this was, I think, yeah, pretty much today.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was this morning.
We're covering our asses just dropped, so it ends up being not true. Not apologizing. It's big news. Big news.
It dropped this morning, the day of recording.
So this morning at the day of recording, it has come to our attentions that Nintendo of America released a tweet stating that Charles Martinet is now moving into the role of not the voice actor of Mario, just a Mario ambassador. And I will now... So I will first read the tweet, which of course is released as a PNG, so you can't just copy and paste it. For Nintendo of America. Charles Martinet has been the original voice of Mario in Nintendo games for a long time, as far back as Super Mario 64 represent. Charles is now moving to the brand new role of Mario Ambassador. With this transition, he will be stepping back from recording character voices for our games, but he will continue to travel the world sharing the joy of Mario and interacting with you all. It's been an honor working with... I'll get to that. Settle down, audience member. It has been an honor working with Charles to help bring Mario to life for so many years, and we want to thank and celebrate him. Please keep an eye out for a special video message from Shigeru Miyamoto and Charles himself, which we will post at a future date. And PNG. So, thank you, soundboard man.
There was something filthy in the water when Chris Pratt took his role in the movie.
I'm glad we're both going the same direction with this.
All right.
But so Charles Martinet is stepping down as the voice actor of Mario, who, as they've stated, since Super Mario 64 has been the voice of the character. Now, I don't know how old our audience is, but that game, and I know I'm probably older than most of y'all. We're like YouTube vets at this point. So, or not, maybe not Spotify, but YouTube for sure. Super Mario 64 came out in 1996. I was born in 1996. The only voice of Mario I've ever heard, save for, you know, the History of Mario YouTube videos I'm sure I've watched, has always been Charles Martinet. He has always been, for as long as I've been as long as you've been. So as long as I've been taking breaths and been, Charles Martinet has been the voice of Mario. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means, that he's not the voice of Mario anymore. What that entails.
What is an ambassador?
Okay. Do you want to start with that first? I got my theories.
Yeah, give it to me.
All right. So, as the ambassador, Charles Martinet, for his retirement program, he is allowed to go and travel the world wherever he so pleases. But he still has to be a public face figure for Nintendo, going around and still doing Mario impressions for the rest of his life. Until that man rolls over. Hopefully he does anytime soon. Love him. But he will continue to be the voice of Mario in person. That's my idea. This is his retirement contingent plan while also working under the Nintendo company.
So unfortunately that is likely true. Yeah. So here's my thing.
What's up?
And I don't even think this is tinfoil hat. I think this is just like unfortunately a possibility. And there's two evils that could occur.
All right.
The obvious one to throw out is Chris Pratt replaces Mario's voice.
Okay.
And Chris Pratt is the new Mario because the movie did well.
You know,
the other potential evil is they just replicate Charles' voice because he still technically works for them, so they probably legally can. And they use like AI voice with his voice clips
Yep.
to replicate his voice without paying him for making new lines.
Okay, why we gotta not pay him? You know he's definitely getting retired. He's getting Nintendo money.
Yeah, but Nintendo doesn't have to pay him now for like voice acting sessions and stuff, you know?
Yeah, I don't know how much he's gotten paid for being the voice of Mario, but man, that would be the injustice. He's not getting some Nintendo coffers money for literally being the voice of Mario. So I'm going to pretend that he is getting that money, and that it was his idea to do AI voice, because Nintendo is so out of date. They're like, Charles Martinet walks into the office one day, is like, "Hey, listen, have you heard this?" And he plays Kanye's newest album. He's like, "All right, Shiggy, how'd you feel about that?" Like Ye's been kind of crazy, so it's kind of cool to hear some original old Ye. I'm a big fan of him. And then Charles like, "All right, man, well that's fine, Dandy, but that's not Kanye. That's an AI whose lyrics I made up for this album. I made this album." And she's like, "What? What are you talking about?" It's like, listen. We just do this with Mario, right? Mario just says Yahoo and whoopee and all that stuff anyway. He didn't say a full sentence. Why don't I feed you guys some lines, put the AI machine on, and I can retire and be a free man. I can operate the Mario Ambassador Twitter. I might do some traveling around every once in a while for signatures and stuff. We're golden. He said, "You know what, Charles Martin? That's a great idea. Save us a buck."
This is too tinfoil for me. I'm taking the tinfoil off.
What? You don't think that's true? You don't think that's what actually happened?
I think 0% of this occurred. I wouldn't even give you a 0.5.
I want this to happen.
Right.
Maybe the Kanye album was a bit of a stretch. Maybe it was like,
just that.
Yeah, Kanye's not for everyone. I get it.
Anyway, yeah, I wonder how this will affect Mario in the future.
I think the biggest thing is that they're actually going to go into a different direction with the voice, or are they just going to reuse voice clips for the remainder of time? Because you could make Mario just not talk anymore until it comes to like another feature film where he needs to speak full sentences, and then you could have that or I guess a Chris Pratt equivalent do those voices. But I think they could make it work without him. I don't know how long they could go for with that, but Mario's not exactly dropping lore dialogue and
right
during
there's
his
never
games.
like a large like exposition or dialogue dump for Mario anyway.
Yeah,
we just need the endorphin giving jump sound effect.
Exactly. Exactly. But I guess on the just to assume like the opposing side, like if there wasn't a voice actor, they could not. I feel like if they did something stupid like gave Chris Pratt the role of Mario in the future, like, I don't know, man, they're digging themselves a grave, I feel like.
Just straight up, I think that would alienate some people, but like the average human being who's not super invested in media or like chronically online, they probably don't care. They're like, oh, I love Chris Pratt and I love Mario.
Yeah.
A lot of people attribute the success of the movie to Chris Pratt being Mario.
I gotta watch that movie. I just find that very hard to believe. After all the trailers and stuff, to be the voice actors would carry that movie, or was a big part of it.
I don't want to spoil anything for you, but Chris Martinet has voice
Charles
lines
Martinet.
in that movie.
Yes.
Yeah, Charles. Sorry, man, that's messed up. What a slip.
This is it. It's the end of him.
I spoke it into time. No, but Charles, he has a voice line. He has voiced lines in the movie,
right?
And his last line is at like around the end of the movie where he's like, "These are my boys" or something, in reference to Mario and Luigi.
Oh, I see.
But I know some people were like, not upset, but like that really hit them hard because to your points, people have known him as Mario since the dawn of time. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's touching. I can't wait. I guess that's something to look forward to when I do watch it. But yeah, I think he should be, whenever he's the voice, he should be Mario, unless it's something like weird, dumb, like Donkey Kong thing where it's like, yeah, well, the old Mario was the original Mario. Then he had kids, and then he named his son Mario. So now there's two Marios. There's Luigi Mario. They're all Mario.
And there's also old Luigi because that's how family works.
Yeah.
We have the strongest genetics in now.
Oh man. So yeah, I don't know. Like it seems like it's a nothing thing, but when a voice actor who's been okay, well, yeah, no, when a voice actor's been in the industry for like this long, it's a big deal when they step down. Like I'm surprised this was just a tweet. I know there's a message coming out later, but um I don't know. It's like this is literally something that people have been thinking about for a very long time. It's like what happens after Charles Martinet? And even for Mario, who again speaks in single words, if that, that's always in people's mind of like what happens after Charles Martinet, and we're getting that now. So I'm curious to see what that message they're sharing is going to be. If it's going to be like, and here's who's recording the new voices of Mario, or is it just going to be this is a send off video? We want to give a big thanks to Charles Martinet and whatever the Mario ambassador role means. I think it's gonna be a world traveler, bro. I'm just being straight up.
I mean, you know how they have for like Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championships, they have the voice actors come out and do like a duel in character.
I didn't know that's really funny.
Yeah, they're like they are good and they're entertaining and they're funny. Like they're all the things that you'd want and expect because they kind of have some freedom to like say some things. But I think they're just gonna do the same thing where they like shill out Charles. Shill is kind of a negative connotation. But basically, have him go out to events and like do his thing. You know,
act as a celebrity for the company, which I think. I don't think there's any like bad connotation to that because he's been the voice of Mario, who is the icon of Nintendo. So it only makes sense that would continue, I think. So, I mean, yeah, I think we're gonna see more of him as that, more tours, I'm sure. Responsibly, I'm sure, because the man is still kind of old, so. Let him do his thing. He can operate his X account a little bit more freely now.
I had to think about what you were saying. I was like, oh, Twitter.
I gotta change it up because eventually, once X dies, we can stop talking about it. But until then, I got remind people.
Someone pulls up on me and is like, "What's Twitter?" I'll just go to the retirement home.
That would be crazy. Like, I would ask and respond, "What's X?" And if they explain it to me, then I'm just like, "Oh, whatever, man. All is lost. There's no way this lasted that long."
Oh, you're saying the rapture's happening right now? Okay, that's cool.
Appears God is calling me. Oh man, yeah, Charles Martinet. It's not like not like a super important thing but like as far as like a household name, like. Yeah, that big deal, super big deal. I feel like, and yeah, I don't know. We'll see what that next match is gonna say, but I think, this is a big deal. This is another chapter in the are you old or not in the video game world.
Yeah.
Were you there when Charles Martinet was the voice actor for Mario?
I can't even be like super upset in all actuality because like he's just done such a good job and he'll always be. I don't want to sound old, but he will always be Mario to me.
I agree. Yeah.
I'm sure whoever's next will be like good or at least like serviceable because it's not like Mario saying a lot, but
it's really hard. Whoever
it's hard
does
to beat the best.
It's hard to beat the best, but it's also hard to like mess up this job. I feel like.
Nah, put me in then.
All right, you're Mario. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not that. You know what? I think I'm a little on to something here.
Someone could mess up. Is what you're saying.
Someone else could. Yeah, hey, Smash Six is coming out soon.
The
You
bag,
are you in?
immaculate.
Oh man. So yeah, um, that's all we really got on that. We will see what happens in the future, and of course, I know that Charles, on our first name basis, but I wish you all the best. Enjoy your world travels.
Your service.
Yeah. Thank you for your service. All right. Speaking of service,
That's good.
let's talk about going beyond the line of duty.
I know we said we would try and avoid talking about Pokemon.
But okay. Can we just admit that Alabama's got it going on this year?
Hey, all right. Actually, no. Let's explain the story because I have potential lore.
All right, go.
It's tinfoil hat again, but basically, this correctional officer in Alabama went to Walmart and he was like opening packs in the Walmart, which is like obviously stealing. And he placed the like good cards he quote unquote opened at Walmart into his pocket, and he just kept them and like tried leaving. But obviously, like, sir, this is a Walmart. Everything was on camera. Everything was recorded. Walmart has security, like actively as long as they're open, and the loss prevention employees like came up to him before while he tried to exit the store, and the cop just kind of like fled on foot and just left.
What?
And
This is the worst thief out of all the ones we've had recently. This is just the laziest.
yeah, so after he fled on foot, loss prevention does what they're supposed to do, and they call the police, which is funny because obviously he's a cop. And the police officers who were called to get him found him at a restaurant near the Walmart, and he was still wearing his uniform, and he still had the Pokemon cards with him.
Wait, so he stole the cards in uniform?
Yeah, he was in uniform
The
when
heck?
he went into this Walmart to take cards.
Okay. Uh,
He was then arrested on the spot.
yeah.
So.
I wonder what he got to eat, and then he probably got his greasy ass hands all over them cards.
This was the statement from the police department that he was from.
Mm.
It is with great embarrassment that we have to report this incident, and I don't know if his name matters, and this person has been terminated from the Calhoun County Sheriff Office. He has tarnished our agency in the image of all law enforcement. As sheriff, I promise to be transparent and hold my staff accountable to a standard higher than the average citizen. End quote.
I man, I have so many words for this. One, I hope he got some good hits.
Dude, that would be crazy if they showed the hits.
Yeah, he got the Houndour, and what else did he get? Yeah, he got the Terra EX Vespiquen, and we have him on file saying he's gonna get at least $40 for this. We don't have the heart to tell him.
Dude, this is the crazy thing. If he opened Obsidian Flame, like,
Yeah,
bro, you probably got zero.
you got no money. There's no way you got the Charizard. Because if you did, you know he would be popping off in the Walmart.
Yeah, from like hanger packs. Because that's what they have there.
Yeah.
He was opening hanger packs, which are like the single packs.
I just can't. Why are you pulling? Just grab an ETB or something.
He was like, what can I buy that gives me the lowest chances? I'm just gonna take it.
I'm just gonna start ripping them. I don't even care.
Like, if I'm coming to fail, I might as well fail all the way.
Can you imagine? Like, his cop friends don't know that he opens Pokemon cards and stuff, and he's on the clock.
This doesn't sound like him. Why was he even in Walmart?
Why was he even in Walmart? He's such a good guy. He's a Menards guy.
He has a family. Yeah, I don't think his charges have been released or anything, but he was arrested, and this happened like a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So it's still a fresh wound for the Calhoun Police Department.
Yeah, they're still trying to figure out, man, they're going to think all of us are lame. They're going to think we're all trading card collectors. All the memes.
Nerds.
Nerds.
In the tinfoil hat theory.
What's up?
In order to recuperate from his wife getting hit with a chair during the Alabama brawl, he decided to steal Pokemon cards to front the medical bill.
Oh my god. What a, you know, I ain't gonna make fun of no people, but that's a really not the greatest investment, my guy.
Hey, being a cop doesn't pay that well.
I hear you.
Better.
I would have stolen, I don't know, like I would have stolen like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, some hypothetical where I stole some cards. I'm not stealing Pokemon cards. I'm not making, like, even if I did a little bit of research, I'm not getting any money from just some basic cards.
I hate to say it, you stood no chance when you decided to open the Pokemon cards.
You automatically lost by opening a pack because there was no way you're going to make any money off of that hit. Or the pack itself.
Right. He would have made more if he went into a dollar store to get the like Cosmic Eclipse packs that are randomly there.
Exactly. He man.
Chose to fail, and thank you for the story, sir.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for your service of being a loser. I just can't like we said before, there's been plenty of thief stories in and out of all the TCGs. You know, we've heard of heist of Magic Gathering cards, entire pallets being stolen for $30,000 and stuff like that. Why did he think, when we have such a news story going on with this stuff, like out of all the things to steal, why would you steal trading cards? The thing that's right in front of the store, and then to have the balls to start tearing them open in the store. Like, you think no one's gonna notice? Like I've seen people doing that, but they don't like. They just let them go if it's like some kid taking a couple of packs. And I'm definitely gonna wait around so I can pick up the cards they left behind because Walmart, just kidding. But when you're a cop dressed up in a police uniform, like you kind of stand out, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, like people notice you, and also like, and this is, I don't know if this is like true or not, but you would think someone in law enforcement would think of a better crime to commit. Like,
yeah,
this is one of the easiest ways, like, to get caught and to end up in trouble. And it seems like how the news article described this whole situation, it's like he didn't even try. It's almost like he wanted to get caught. Like he escaped on foot and went to a restaurant
and just sat around.
Yeah, similar parking lot.
And you know when they call the cops, they're like, oh, like you're in the closest area. They probably phoned him and was like, hey, we got a police officer trying to take. Oh shit, that's me, man.
Don't go to Applebee's.
Yeah, don't go to Applebee's. Whatever you do, there's another assailant I'm taking care of. It's these appetizers.
What if he was eating at the restaurant?
Dude, why would he just sit? First of all, it was even more suspicious. He was like, I'm just here to like sit around, look at these cards. Like, he ate something there. He got some food. Which, by the way, that's crazy too. Because if he ordered food at Applebee's or wherever he went, why don't you just use that money on the cards? He pulled from packs. He pulled from single packs.
That's a good point. Wait, maybe that's why he had to steal the cards.
Oh, because he couldn't have both. I've been there, man. Do I eat for the day or do I get Pokemon cards? What the heck?
You couldn't pick.
Man,
He said, I'm going to have both.
After a long shift being a correctional officer, they gotta make the decision of opening some Pokemon cards or going out to eat. Man, I'm going out to eat, man. I'm not pulling from the City in Flames. Are you kidding me? Are you
Bro
kidding?
could have waited for like 151 to come to the stage. He was like, nah, I want the dead set. I want the dead on release set.
If you want some money, wait till someone, and then, just take the cards from them. You can just keep them. But no, he wanted to go for City in Flames. That's a good point, though. He could have waited to 151. Because that would have just been boatloads of that product he could just taken. oh, this is a overstock. We need to secure this so it doesn't get stolen.
He could have paid his bond and release if he owed my 151.
Yeah, he could have
Now
waited.
he's just in debt now.
He could have waited to the one risky scalper that tried to steal some extra boxes. Like, hey, like I saw you take an extra box, so I'm gonna bring this back to Walmart and drive away free ETB at 151. Like, there's a billion things you could have done as a cop. If you want to be a crooked cop, you could have done to make this a better look for you. But no, I'm gonna just rip Obsidian Flames in a Walmart where everyone can see me and pull nothing.
Alabama's so desperate to meet a quota, he was like, I'm gonna fill it myself.
No,
I'll become the criminal.
This is all an inside job.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I'm waiting for the follow people find as Twitter or something and they start ragging on him. I won't be part of that, but there's usually a good fallout. If not there, then on Facebook that they'll talk about later.
I'm anti-Twitter mob, but I'm pretty sure someone will find either the police department or his family's social media.
Yeah.
Hey, exactly. What cards did he get?
Yeah, so what'd you pull, man? I am curious what he pulled, though. So I'm not saying anyone to do this, but if you see in the comments what cards he pulled, that would be great to know. That's the only follow-up I want for the story. Please show us the card. Did you hit the Charizard? Was it worth it?
Please don't tell me it was 10 Lechonk illustration rare.
I swear, man. That would be bad.
That's probably why he turned himself in. He's like,
pigs,
there's no point.
Pigs for a pig. Oh, man. I mean, like, we've heard these other thieves stories. Usually, like, somebody probably my age who goes in these card shops and then they try to be slick and taking entire booster boxes. I've never heard someone's trying to steal some single packs. Well, at least not heard about it on like a news article or anything. So he's breaking new ground, you know.
Yeah. A pioneer of sorts.
Yeah, truly. A man ahead of his time. I'll get less charge if I pull only a couple of packs. Like,
yeah, it seems the value of what he stole was less than $1, so we can let him go.
That's what, you know what? If that's how I was thinking about it, I guess, you know, less chance. You're not going to pull anything great. Maybe he was trying to finish his deck. You know.
I just need the one uncommon Iono.
I just need those last two Caesars, man. That's all I need. They're $5 still. All these other Switch versions are like $1. I need this. They're doing bottomless fries over at Red Robin's. I gotta get there. I can't do both. I need this. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. Any other ragging on that?
I think those are all the details that have been released so far. I've been following the story, but the largest update is that he was arrested, and in the original story, we didn't know that he was found in a restaurant, but I think it's funny that that's like new information they decided to reveal as if to like embarrass him.
The assailant escaped and tried to get a free meal. The rally's $5 meal just wasn't quite hitting for that $5 discount.
Maybe he had a side quest. Maybe he had a side quest we don't understand. If you bring me 3 nest ball uncommons, I'll give you a free meal.
No. It was the worker at Rallies who needed to complete the deck.
The greatest mastermind. I can't get off my shift. You have to do it for me.
We got to tell Alabama about GCG player or something. We got to get them hip. These cards are $1, fam.
My deck was $18, including like extras of cards I wouldn't need just to change ratios out.
That's crazy. I can't wait till we're doing. I guess spoilers. I can't wait till we're doing in-person stuff, but that'll be fun.
Yeah, I think that's a good segue though. For all of our fans, we've been exploring and preparing for IRL content for our YouTube, and there will be some of that on the TikTok and Instagram posts as well, but YouTube will be the like central location, I guess, for all of it. So do make sure to subscribe, watch a couple more videos. Our podcasts are on there. We have a short on there and a couple more coming. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's show.
Yeah. Yeah, and make sure you, again, like you said, follow us on all of our social media: the TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, and all that jazz that we are constantly uploading. And yeah, look forward to it. It is more content coming your way, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a lot of vigilante focus.
Yeah, that's a way to put it.
Yeah, it was a good show. Good stuff. With that, guys, we will be heading out and leaving you with your thoughts and put in our comment section. Let us know what you think. More video games? More news stories?
To go back to Pokemon Land.
More Pokemon Land? More
There's
more
always news.
more long endings where I don't know how to end this. I just keep talking into the mic. More Riz?
You could have just ended it there.
I still can.
That's nice.